Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new episode of the Division Z podcast. My name is Jason.
And I am K Cosmic.
My friend, there really isn't a whole lot to talk about when it comes to new news this week, but how you doing? How was your week?
I mean, my week was good. You know, I played some Shinonuma. Had a fun time doing that. That was great. Did buy a Shinonuma t-shirt that we'll talk about later on.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, hey, I'm not going to lie, though. That logo does look really nice, though, for Shinonuma. So, yes. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm going to have to cop a Shinonuma shirt. I don't know.
I could make you one for one-fifth the price of that.
I know. I could go on the Streamlabs store and
just
copy
make
and
one.
Paste that,
the
to
logo.
be honest. But I mean, hey, still Shinonuma logo looks pretty cool.
Yes, regardless.
But, you know, speaking of other things in Call of Duty that was just recently added, you joined us earlier in the week for some Warzone for Fortune's Keep.
I did, yes.
How do you like Fortune's Keep? How do you like the new map?
So, I think it's interesting. I think it's better than Caldera because I haven't played much Caldera, and I was never really inspired to, even during the Godzilla and Monkey event. I just couldn't get into it.
Okay.
I don't know what it was. Again, the event looked cool and stuff, but it just didn't really pull me in.
I can understand where you're coming from because it's just one of those LTM kind of limited time whatever things that is just going to be there in 2 weeks, then gone. Which is just the funniest thing to me, that they put that much effort into the Godzilla King Kong event and then it's just gone after 2 weeks.
I thought there was going to be Mecha Godzilla or something.
Everybody did.
And it would have made perfect sense. And if he came out and they all started fighting, that would have been awesome, right? That would have been cool. But they didn't do it. I don't know, a bit of a missed opportunity.
Which is so weird because they have a Mecha Godzilla pack in the store.
Yeah. And it's probably one of the most popular bundles they've had as well.
Oh, yeah. It's for Vanguard specifically, for sure. I mean, which is ironic that you were like, oh, I'm not interested in Caldera even from the Godzilla King Kong. That was the most I played Caldera, to be honest, was Godzilla vs. King Kong, because the event itself worked out pretty well, actually, shooting King Kong and getting all the intel and the supply drops and the way things worked, and you could use the score streaks and use them to attack people. I thought the game mode itself was really fun to play. The most fun I've had on Caldera so far, but, you know... Yeah, back to Fortune's Keep a little bit though. Yeah, Fortune's Keep is definitely better than Caldera.
Yeah. I think for the map layout, it's good. I like the underground parts. I like the on top parts. I think it's maybe it's Caldera compressed, if you get what I mean. It's
definitely.
Kind of you know, it's that in between. It's a medium sized map. It's not small like Alcatraz, and it's not big.
Yeah, this is a little bit bigger than Rebirth.
Yeah, Rebirth even. It's definitely a little bit bigger, and I think it feels a bit more alive than Rebirth. I think it feels a bit more vibrant, which I don't mind. Rebirth isn't in the game anymore, right?
Actually, it is.
Or is it back? Okay,
so what they're doing with it is they're going to be rotating in and out Fortune's Keep and Rebirth, and sometimes they're going to have them at the same time. So at the time of us recording this podcast right now, they have Rebirth Island quads, I believe, out right now, along with Fortune's Keep, solo, duo, trio, quads, and then Golden Plunder on Caldera. I think those are the playlists out right now at the time of us recording. Could be wrong. But so they're going to be rotating those in and out, which is very interesting to me, actually, that they're keeping 3 maps around. I think a lot of people didn't expect them to keep 3 maps around, including myself.
No, because they're definitely in this mindset of, limited time modes. We've seen it with Cold War Zombies, we've seen it with Black Ops Cold War, we've seen it with Modern Warfare as well, and obviously Warzone as well. And they're so dedicated to it. No, we can't have them all at once because it divides the player base, which makes sense, right? Because
maybe even file size too.
Yeah, there you go as well. It takes down I think the stress in that for them maybe, and all that. But no, Fortune's Keep, I'm happy it's in the game. I think it's definitely good. Should they have removed Rebirth at all? I don't think so. I think that should still technically. I think Rebirth is the fundamental small battle royale experience that works for COD. And when you go on that, it's not going to be an hour long game. It's not going to be a half an hour long game. It's going to be a
Right.
20, 50-minute game, depending on how like good you are, how bad the other players are. You can, get out of that quite quickly and get a win. Fortune's Keep, I like it. I do like it. For the time we played it, I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, are they? Part of me feels like they're bringing it a bit late, considering obviously Warzone 2 and that's eventually coming out, and there's kind of no connection really to like this one in terms of like.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, man. With Warzone 2 coming out and Fortune's Keep coming out when it did, it's almost like I don't know, maybe a send off to Warzone, like one last hurrah for Warzone 1 to be like, hey guys, let's release this cool, brand new, just not really mess around map, because it's not a mess around map, because there's a lot of secrets and a lot of Easter eggs, and this map is going to play a more important story role, I think, pretty soon. But the thing is with that is I think this is definitely a huge just kind of send off to Warzone in a way, where it's like, okay, here's this brand new map. You guys love Rebirth, Resurgence, and you love the Resurgence game mode, so let's make a whole other map for that. Let's see if you guys have fun with this. And then this is kind of your last little opportunity to experience Warzone as you know it. But that's the thing, where Fortune's Keep is very, how do I describe it? Like, it's a good map, but it's very rat heavy. There's a lot of campers.
It has a lot of corners, a lot of buildings.
A lot of campers in this map.
I mean,
so many buildings.
I think that's why I kind of like the underground area, the mine area. I feel like there you get a lot more of like open spaces. I'm sure there's buildings here and there, but when you're when you're at like the massive area where it's wide open, there's a giant hole in the ground.
Right.
I feel like there you can there's bits to kind of like take cover and stuff, but there's not so much like places to camp. Whilst above that is the opposite. There's so many houses, so many buildings. And I mean, I don't mind that playstyle personally. I think campers are annoying because you can't really, what are you supposed to do? You don't know they're in there. You run in there.
That's the whole point, right? You don't know they're in there, and it's annoying. And when every single game you run into just some guy sitting in a corner, it gets on your nerves after a while. I gotta say, like,
it's a little bit
I don't know. I don't understand how that's fun. I just sitting in a corner with a shotgun on a battle royale experience of all things, like.
I need to move. Like I can't when I'm playing multiplayer.
Right.
So I need to move when I'm playing COD. I know tactically it's better to stay in not stay in one place, but slow down your movement. Line up your shots, things like that. Right. Take your time. But I have to go when I'm playing Modern Warfare. Or even Warzone. I'm constantly tactical sprinting, and that might be some of the reasons why I have a low KD. But I can't stay in one building. I need to keep moving. It's too boring just because you're staying in there for ages, right? I remember my first game of Fortune's Keep, and it was so slow. And this was when I was running around as well. I was so bored. I was like, there's nothing going on.
Oh, boy.
I don't know if I was just unlucky, right? But I think to be good at COD and get better, you have to push yourself into situations where like you have to like fight people. You can't be like on the corner of the map, hiding, lying down, doing nothing, just slowly, trying, getting into the final circle just to get melted because you don't have the gun skill to fight someone in the final circle because you have had no engagements the whole game. So I do think it's important to have a mixture of play styles. People at camp, they're really annoying. And I wish that wasn't the case, but man, I don't.
Go ahead. What's funny you mentioned about the you make it to the final circle and you get melted and you don't have like the gun skill for it, right? I remember a long time ago I was playing Verdansk and I was playing a solo game just for fun, and I had like maybe 1 or 2 kills. It was a very slow game. I barely saw anybody. And by the time I got to the final circle, all I had to do was just kill the last guy and I won. Like, so there you go. I think when it comes to, battle royale experiences and sometimes how boring they can feel, having a small map like Fortune's Keep and like Rebirth Island helps out with the pacing of it a little bit. Where like Verdansk, man, I remember playing games of Verdansk and just going, wow. Yeah, I'm just walking around. Nothing's really happening here. And then I can understand where you're thinking that with Fortune's Keep, because now it's not necessarily a problem with the map. Now it's a problem with the players. It's the players camping in all the buildings and like in the dark corners and things like that. And not to mention, players can camp a lot easier now in the dark corners because of Rose 3.0, ladies and
Oh
gentlemen.
yes, the
Another
new skin.
bundle
Yes.
that was added to Vanguard. They, I see a lot of people responding to people like Charlie Intel, Modern Warzone, and on Twitter and being like, Activision didn't learn. No, actually, they did learn. They learned how to make money. And
Yeah.
they know people are going to buy these dark skins and people are going to buy all of these, black cloaked outfits for their
It's
characters to hide in the
it's
shadows. And it's like,
it's the new pay to win.
it kind of
100%.
is. Oh,
And
it
don't get
is.
me wrong, right? Don't get me wrong. Obviously, it's not giving you an advantage in terms of like, your gun's better,
Well,
right?
not the gun
Nothing
is
like that.
better, but
No, but the
finish
fact
your
that
thought,
you're
but I will
yeah,
say something
yeah,
later.
the fact you're nearly invisible in a dark area, right?
Mm-hmm.
It does a lot. It can
Yeah.
definitely throw a person off. I mean, people in real life use camouflage when they're fighting. I mean, it's like it's kind of in a weird way. It's kind of like camouflage for dark
Right.
areas, right? And it
Right.
gives you that advantage because let's say I was in a corner, you were in a corner, right? I was wearing like a really bright pink, funny outfit, right? And then
Right.
you were
Right.
wearing like a dark, like you just blended into the area so well. Obviously, they're gonna see me because I'm out, like I'm so like,
Of course.
obvious, right? So it's kind of that weird situation where it's like, are, obviously they're doing it intentionally because they know people will buy this to do better in the game, right?
Hmm.
But at the same time, it's like it's not pay to win. It's just it's a gray area because you can't be like, oh, that's pay
Hmm.
to win because it's a skin, and you can. I don't know, but
I
the
get
same,
I
yeah, yeah.
get your point though. I definitely get your point. I think with the camouflage argument with that is Call of Duty. As much as they'd like to market themselves as real life, gritty, World War II, and then like Godzilla's literally in the game,
And he's
um,
canon.
and when it comes to Call of Duty, it's always been that like run and gun kind of a
Mhm.
feel. Always been a run and gun kind of game mode,
Yeah,
always kind of fast paced. And I know with like Infinity Ward's recent games, it hasn't been as fast paced because of how tactical Modern Warfare has been and semi tactical Vanguard has been and whatever, right? But
yeah.
um I think the core of Call of Duty is run and gun, have fun shooting things. And so when you have this, there's a particular word I'm looking for here. I don't remember the word I'm looking for, but when you have this particular kind of misdirection of like, well, hey, have this dark skin to blend into the shadows, and it's like the tactical thing is like, well, nobody likes that because people just
No.
want to have fun running and gunning and shooting.
Mm.
But another thing I was going to mention was I forgot who. It's going to bug me now. I saw this on Twitter and I forgot who said this and who showcased this, but this guy on his team showed the new skin. I think it's called like the Violet something, right? The new skin.
Yeah.
And he was backing up. And I think at about like 50, 60 meters, the skin just straight up turned invisible. Like it was
Bruh.
out of your field of sight, which is ironic because you're looking straight in front of you. And it just straight up went invisible after like 50 or 60 meters. So the skin is just broken, it seems like, at long ranges. So if you're trying to snipe or you're trying to gun someone at long range with your STG or something, you might not even see somebody there.
No.
Which is a bit concerning, actually, because I know this was a problem with other skins in the past for Black
Mhm.
Ops Cold War where the body was invisible, but the head was floating, and like vice versa. So I just, there's always going to be some problems with Warzone, but that's just another concerning thing about this new Rose 3.0 skin.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you say, the community don't like it, obviously, but like, how do they counter it if they're gonna add in a skin like that, right? Is there really any way to counter it? Like, do you
I
just not
mean,
add it in? I guess. I guess
yeah,
that's
that
the only
would be
way
the
to really
only
like.
counter. I know they tried to
Like
brighten up the black rose skin when that came out, and people were complaining about that. I know they tried to brighten that up, but
mm,
it still is kind of dark. Let's be honest.
yeah.
But with this particular skin, I think their mindset is, well, look, guys, it's got like pink glowing lines on it going up and
So you
down the suit.
clearly see it. You
And
can
like
clearly see
nobody
it.
notices the
Are you
pink lines
blind?
on the suit when you play. And it's like, oh, okay, well, shit.
Well, I mean, uh, the skin looks cool when you can actually see it.
Hmm.
Too bad that most of the time you're not going to be able to see it because they're going to be in a corner.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like I always whether I'm playing like COD, yeah, mostly COD, right? Is I'll die to someone who's like hiding not hiding somewhere, but like are near me, and I don't even know.
Right.
I'll run past them, right? And I watch the kill cam. They'll be right next to me. I watch the kill cam, and when running past them, it's like they're almost not there.
Right.
They're not there, and then they shoot you in the back, and you see the kill cam,
Yep.
and it's like I was right there. They weren't there. They
Yep.
weren't not there. How did they get there? Right?
Dude, low visibility in Warzone recently is just ridiculous. And
Yeah.
there's always been a visibility problem with Vanguard. Especially on some of the other maps, some of the bigger maps, the visibility is just really not good. And I know some of those problems translated over to Warzone and Caldera specifically, which is also a reason why with the Season 4 update, I actually have yet to jump onto Caldera yet. I've yet to play Golden Plunder, which
Yeah.
I want to sometime. But they said they reduced 50% of the vegetation and all the foliage that's on Caldera. So maybe that'll help a little bit with the visibility. But I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. I don't know. Were that many people camping in bushes for you
Well,
to
there you
remove
go.
half of the plants on your map?
Mm.
Like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, that's that is a fair amount, isn't it?
Yeah, half of the plants on Caldera are gone now because they wanted to improve visibility, which, I mean, hey, if it works, it works. And if when I
Doesn't
jump into
won't
Caldera, we'll see what happens.
I mean, won't that make the map look very like bare bones?
I don't
If you get
know,
what I
to be
mean.
honest.
I mean, I guess it's something we'll have to try
I
out.
guess we'll just have to jump into it.
Yeah. I mean, talking about Vanguard, what have your thoughts been on it recently with, Shino Numa coming out?
Mhm.
Have you been playing much of it at all? Or have you just been kind of like, have you just been doing other stuff?
Yeah, I mean,
Because
with Shino Numa, yeah.
I've been playing like here and there of Shino Numa, and I do
Mhm.
really enjoy it still. But
Mhm.
obviously the map's been out for like a week now or
Yeah,
so.
just over a
Uh,
week.
over a week, yeah. The community have their thoughts in it. All the rant videos are over and done with. All the
Right.
reviews are all done and all that. I mean, what now that it's had time to settle in, you're over the honeymoon phase, which most people get,
For sure.
obviously. What are your thoughts and opinions of Shunonuma and Vanguard at the moment in general?
Yeah, I think Vanguard is definitely in a better state than it was
Mhm.
in before. I still think
Yeah.
Shinonuma is the best part of Vanguard right now because it's a return to round based and it's a return to something that's
Do
familiar
you,
with some of the newer stuff.
yeah.
Um,
Do you mean in general or in zombies? Do you
well,
think
I think in
Shunonuma?
general,
You
I
think in
think in
general?
general
Yeah.
because with the way multiplayer is and the way ranked play is, with just the server issues that you still get constant packet burst, high latency, the connectivity, the bullet registration
Mm.
isn't the best, low visibility sometimes on certain maps. The multiplayer has its good moments, but at the same time, there's just a lot of bad technical moments about it too.
Yeah.
And then, but when it comes to Shino Numa, yes, I've crashed a few times, and yes, I've seen some problems with the map. But because we have something familiar now with Shino Numa, and we have an Easter egg, and we're developing a little bit more
Mm.
of the story, and things seem to be ramping up a little bit more here for Vanguard Zombies, I can definitely appreciate Shino Numa for what it's doing. It's not the most amazing experience ever. It's not the worst experience ever either. It's just, it's mid ground kind of content for Vanguard
Yeah.
right now. And the main thing I've been recently doing is trying to level up my weapons in Vanguard because I
Mhm.
am wanting to make a return to grinding Dark Ether
Now that
now
there's round
that we have,
base.
yeah, exactly, now that we have a round based map. So I've been trying to level up my weapons in multiplayer. And the reason why I'm leveling up in multiplayer is because I don't want to accidentally unlock all the zombies camos, and then I don't have a
Yes.
video.
I remember that.
So
Yes.
I'm back to doing that.
Mhm.
I think I only need a couple more SMGs for Plague Diamond, so that'll be happening pretty soon. And I think I only need to level up one or two more assault rifles, and then I'll have max level assault rifles, which that's another conversation about the weapon levels being way too high in Vanguard at level 70.
Yeah.
That's just ridiculous. And I know, again, at the time of us recording this video, it's a double XP weekend for everything. So I'm definitely trying to take advantage of that when I can. But
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, that's basically my overall thoughts. I still think Shinonuma is the best part of Vanguard right now. I like that they have an Easter egg. I enjoy the Easter egg for what it's worth. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do with their next map, which people are saying is supposed to be in Egypt.
But saying that, were we okay? Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the next map too. Egypt is a cool setting. I think anyone, I would love to be in like a temple or something,
Mm-hmm.
deep inside it or whatever, or
For
like
sure.
we had to make our way into it or something.
Mm.
But I mean, wasn't Terra Maledicta, wasn't that
Oh,
based in Egypt, or was that
yep.
based somewhere else?
Yep. Terra Maledicta was also in Egypt, which, I mean, hey, I don't
I'm not
I
bothered.
don't
I
think
mean,
it's a problem that there's going to be
no,
repeat
because
locations,
we've
but
had. I mean, if you look in certain maps, like certain games, we've had it where we've had multiple maps in Germany, right? We've had multiple
mm,
maps in certain
of
locations, so
course,
it shouldn't be a big deal. But
right,
maybe, possibly, I guess it could be because obviously Terra Maledicta is
objective
objective
based,
based, right? And then their plans changed sporadically, and maybe they're supposed to have like maybe a few more objective based maps or something beforehand, or
right,
a bit more build up to the story, the final conclusion.
for sure.
Um, but I just find it interesting that we're going to again Egypt again. I think it'll be cool. I
I
think
mean,
it's a good way to
allegedly,
end it off.
right? I mean,
Allegedly, right?
it's not confirmed yet, but
We
apparently
could
people
we
have
could be going
dug
to
up some
Scotland.
evidence. Dude,
Mm.
I'll take a zombies map in Scotland. That'd be fun.
Loch Ness boss fight, Nessie boss fight. Hell
Okay,
yeah!
actually, that sounds pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. That actually
You
sounds
have to,
really cool.
you have to make a giant
Um,
like harpoon gun or something. It's like a giant like
Leviathan 2?
hell yeah! Listen, that would be a sick map.
Actually,
Someone,
it would
someone,
be like an
someone
abandoned
fair.
castle in Scotland on like the middle of
Yeah.
a lake, and there's like
Mm,
underwater caves and like hidden treasure and like,
mm.
oh, dude, that's actually a really cool idea.
That'd be fun. The custom map makers take that idea and make it because the
Yeah.
community would eat it up. It could be like all foggy and misty and all that,
Oh, the
and there
fog
could be like
rolling in.
yeah, fog rolling in
Oh
from the
yeah.
outside. You could have cool little Easter eggs for like I don't know.
Hmm.
You could use your use a sniper to zoom in somewhere, and there's a zombie playing a bagpipe or something. That'd be a cool little fun side Easter egg.
All the zombies, the models have kilts on
Yeah.
and all that. Oh man,
Oh, I
Scottish
mean that'd be
zombies
good.
map.
You could have a Highland cow special round, which
The
I
Highland
mean
cows are the hellhounds.
yes they are. They're just yes. I mean
Hell cows.
hell cows. I know we were talking about it when we were playing Warzone, but have you ever seen a Highland cow?
They're those fluffy cows, right?
Yes, they're very very cute. I could definitely see them
Mm.
being like zombified and like a
Zombified fluffy cows.
yes and like a special round or something, or they come midway through a round like a boss zombie or something.
Bullet
Oh, that'd be
sponge.
cool. Bullet sponge, yeah, exactly, right? They do like a little charge tech.
I mean, I don't know about you, man, but I think we're onto something.
I think we're
I
on to
think we're
something.
onto a fun custom zombies map for all the
Yes,
custom zombies guys out there. Like Cosmic was just saying, hey, let's make something happen. Like low key, I think this could be really fun.
I think honestly, absolutely. I mean, and Scotland's got a pretty decent amount of lore and stuff as well. Whether you want to go like the Loch Ness, there's a few other things as well. I can't name them on
Mm.
top of my head, but like there's a bunch of old ancient ruins and obviously a lot of like sword, not sword, like war stuff happened here in the olden times. People taking
Yeah,
over kingdoms and things like that.
for sure.
There's a lot of like history that you could definitely take and
So
like
okay, so about the history then. Let's deviate a little bit from Call of Duty.
okay.
I don't know like the history of the Loch Ness monster. What's so significant about the Loch Ness monster? Like where did that come from?
I think it was just to be honest, I think it was uh a bunch of like not conspiracy, but like your Bigfoot and
Right. Oh,
stuff,
I know it's
right?
like more of a Bigfoot thing, but like
Yeah.
where did it originate from? Like why did it start
Well,
becoming
honestly,
a myth or a legend or whatever you want to classify
well,
it as?
let me have a look. Actually, I don't know. I just know that it was like, people like to talk about. Let me find out. Where did the
Where did Nessie come from? I don't know. Like the whole Bigfoot thing is just so funny to me that this is like this huge conspiracy thing that people get on board with, and I don't know. Just like Bigfoot, I don't know where Bigfoot originated from, to be honest. So now that we
yeah?
have an actual Scottish person here, maybe the Scottish person can help me understand where the Loch Ness monster came from.
So let me have a look here. So popular interest and belief in the creature has varied since it was brought to worldwide attention in 1933. So
Okay,
it's in a little bit coming, well, not a little bit, in like 10 years or so. It's
a little
coming
bit
up to
more
100 years
modern.
though, right? So it's not super old. Evidence of its existence is acknowledged with a number of photos and sonar readings. Sonar. So yeah, so sounds and photos of it has been proved. There's one popular photo, which I'll just quickly send to you now. This one's the most common photo to be. I don't know if I've come off the screen there. Let me quickly get this photo up for you. This one photo
So
here is
should we edit the photo on the podcast right now so everybody can see the photo?
I think so. Yes, this is
All
one
right.
of the most popular ones that people like use to market it and things like that.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I guess originally it's just been like sites here and there from like people back in the day. I mean, the only logical explanation, right? Because I don't think it's real. I think it's just something that obviously we use as a giant like tourist attraction.
Oh
and
yeah.
It makes a loch very more exciting. It looks cool in that, but then what could be roaming in it? Ooh, right?
Ooh.
Scary. So with it, I believe it's just a lot more of like a tourist attraction. So we can sell magnets and plushies and all this fun stuff, right?
I mean, hey, if I ever go to Scotland and
you're gonna go scuba diving.
We're gonna go scuba diving for the Loch Ness Monster. We're gonna go find
Hell
him.
yeah. I mean, the most logical like explanation for it, right, is it's some sort of like dinosaur that's just like remained, and who knows? Perhaps like maybe it was there at some point, right? Maybe there was one so ever long ago or whatever. But I think if there was one there, we would have found it by now, and we haven't. I will say in that I guess there's that it is quite deep. Like that's the thing, folks. Like when you think about oceans and water and stuff.
I was just about to say.
I don't know how big a loch is, to be honest, in terms of like depth, right? Obviously not as big as an ocean, but I mean, how much of the ocean have we explored? Not a lot.
Not a lot. And that's the scary part, man. Like, I mean, we have no idea what's really at the bottom of the ocean. So, I mean, a creature like the Loch Ness Monster, some sort of dinosaur from the oh my God, what's that time period? What's that time period with the not Jurassic, but like before that, I think, with more of the ocean creatures. I forgot the name at that time period, but with more of those creatures and all the ocean kind of monsters and things like that, I think there's a high chance that some of those, not a lot, but some of those are probably still lurking down there, whether it be like a fish from those times or like a clam or a starfish of some kind, like, you know what I mean? And maybe not like a big monster like the megalodon or anything like that, but I mean, hey, I've seen a lot of people say megalodons exist today as well, which I mean, I guess I don't know. I don't know much about the ocean. I don't know much about I'm not a marine biologist, but
I want you to take a guess here. How much of the ocean do you think's been explored?
I know that I think everyone has seen this statistic before, but I don't think I remember the number. I'm going to guess that about 10% of the ocean has been explored.
5%.
5%. Okay. So it's definitely not a lot.
Yeah, let me make sure. But only 5% of the ocean has been explored and charted by humans.
That's crazy. Yeah. That's really crazy.
So, I mean, yeah. And I'm pretty sure NASA, they used to work on water before they went to like the moon and stuff, like space stuff. NASA.
I mean, that's the thing with ocean exploration. You have locations on Earth like the Marianas Trench with how just deep that goes, and is there anything surviving down below there? I think there's a huge possibility that there is, and there's probably hundreds, if not maybe thousands, of creatures down there that we just have no idea about. And it's kind of a freaky feeling to think about.
The thing is, well, it's so hard to like. Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to like even explore that areas as well because obviously you have other factors going into it.
The pressure getting under the ocean and like that's a weird feeling to think about. Like you're just kind of floating down in this like just blue void of the ocean.
Oh man,
just nothingness all around you except for like fish and just like these otherworldly creatures. Like think about it for a second though. Fish are really weird.
Yeah, right. Okay? They are weird.
Like I don't know. They're just they're just really strange creatures that when you think about it and you think about what actually lives in the ocean, it is really alien compared to what's here on land. It's fascinating.
You could put like a photo of some of them things like just in space, right? And you think it's an alien. Like, I can't remember the name of them. But you know that fish, because I call it alien there. You know that fish that has like the little light up thing to lure
Right, the
in,
anglerfish.
right? Like, what the fuck?
What the
designed. That's designed to lure stuff in and eat it, right? And I know you got other things like certain animals, certain color patterns, and certain things like that to lure things in, right? But
Right.
how fucked is that? Like this thing's made to like lure stuff in and eat it, right? And that's messed up. And here's the other thing as well,
That's
right?
messed up.
Like evolution, it makes sense for us to work on land, right? Because we came from whatever whatever you believe in, right? Like I believe we were originally monkeys, blah blah blah, apes, chimps,
I
whatever.
mean,
Blah, blah,
the
blah.
bottom
Now
line is we're mammals. The bottom line is
mammals, right?
no matter what you believe, the bottom line is we're mammals.
Yeah.
So obviously we're here on land.
Yeah, so we're here now. We have our feet. We don't fly. We can swim, but we don't really swim, right?
Right.
What I don't get is what evolution, what made the flying fish, right? Because the flying fish is a weird. Okay, so the flying fish, right? It's a fish. It swims on the water, right? But it can also glide in the air,
right,
for a pretty decent distance. So it's called a flying fish for a reason. Right. So my question is, and I know we're a gaming podcast, right? But
dude,
my question is,
why not talk about this? This is material for our zombies map.
Yeah. Yes. My question. Listen, they could be the special boss round, right?
Flying fish.
They could be like denizens, so you don't train in the water. They just
no.
Right. Here's the thing, right? Is like, how did these things like get made? Like, how did evolution decide? Right, this fish needs wings.
I mean,
it needs wings.
The only thing I can think about maybe is it like leaps into the air and it like eats bugs or something too. Like does it also eat bugs? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it can eat other things that are under the water too, but I don't know, to be honest. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we are a gaming podcast. We talk about Call of Duty. We talk about Warzone. We talk about zombies. This is all just material for our Scottish zombies map, obviously. We're just talking about all the kind of special creatures. And there's what's up?
There's actually lore for why they do it. So they can escape predators. When you actually think about it, that's actually a really good, like,
I mean,
get away from predators. I mean, that's the safest the fish is going to be above water.
Above the water.
Like,
why not?
This guy, I'm leaving.
Why not, right?
I mean, fair enough. But I mean,
that's so funny.
That was an exciting conversation about fish.
That was a great conversation about fish. I mean, I don't know about you, man, but I think we just all got 2% smarter talking about the ocean and talking about why flying fish exist, and yeah, I think we all just got a little bit smarter. You learn something new every day, right? I'm a huge advocate for that, because you really do learn something new every day. I genuinely believe that. So hey, if the one new thing you learned today is why flying fish exist, hey, you know what? Why the hell not?
Yeah, I mean, cool fun facts, ocean facts. We should probably transition onto some zombie stuff, because
maybe, I don't know. Might
be a good idea, but we'll just jump right into it. So, me and you were talking about it a little bit before the podcast, and we kind of touched on it as well at the start of the podcast as well. I don't think we touched on it a lot in terms of pricings and stuff like that. The Shinonuma T-shirt, right? So again, we touched on a little bit of the podcast, so people, we're going to touch on a bit more here, our thoughts and opinions about it. So, T-shirt. First of all, the T-shirt's fire, right? Looks cool, 100% cotton. Cool. Yeah, logo's cool, right? Obviously, the art department the design department nailed the logo for Shinonuma Reborn. It's incredible, really cool, top notch, right?
For sure.
And on a T-shirt, it looks pretty clean. It's the white T-shirt, it has the logo on it, all that good stuff. My one thing with the T-shirt is the fact it's $30, and I know they have other stuff that are more expensive, right? But I think me as a consumer, right, and this is me going to go full Karen mode, on this, right? Me as a consumer, I'm not going to pay $30 for the T-shirt, despite how cool it is, because I can make the T-shirt for less. I could go on like a website and just design a T-shirt, a cheap T-shirt for like $10-15, right? And sure, it won't be the exact same. The sizes won't be the exact same. But I don't know. I just feel like I like the t-shirt. I just think everything on that shop is overpriced. And even going on the shop as well, right? Like Call of
How
Duty.
much is that ray gun shirt? I think that's a good thing to compare it to because I think that ray gun shirt is really, really nice. And that's my favorite item of merchandise on that store.
Let's
Which
have a
I
look.
wanted to buy that ray gun shirt, but when I went to go buy it,
Okay.
it said it was out of
So
stock. So
that's $30. So
it's also
that there,
$30.
yeah, so that
Oh,
there I mean, the thing is, right? I think with that, there's more work that's put into it, right? Someone's had to design all them like little bits of artwork and put it on there, and
hmm.
actually make a design for the t-shirt, right? The Shino Numa logo, it's just been slapped on. It's already been
Yeah, I
made from
get
something
you.
created, right? I don't know if
I
the
get
ray
you.
gun. I don't think that artwork's been anything else at all, and they've just
Yeah,
slapped
probably
it
not.
on. I mean, there's more stuff on here that makes me really think. There's a Warzone T-shirt that just says Call of Duty Warzone, and that's for $30.
Oh,
But
really?
I
It's
mean,
just straight up the Warzone logo. Is that it?
yeah. But if I go on
Hmm.
Amazon,
Interesting. I know
I'm
they
gonna
have
go
like
on.
hats and cups and stuff on that Call of Duty
Yeah,
shop, right?
yeah. They have a Damascus cup,
Oh
which
yeah,
actually
that's
looks kind
right.
of cool. Warzone T-shirt,
For all you
right?
Modern Warfare fans out there.
So I can get a Call of Duty Warzone T-shirt for $16 compared to 30, right? So
Damn.
I'm gonna take a photo of this, if I can remember here, right? So I'm gonna where
Okay.
am I taking from something here? So
But
I'm gonna crop this,
I
right?
mean, hey, with merchandise, man, I mean, it's glad to I'm glad to see the merch store come back for Call of Duty because it's been a while
Yeah,
since we've had an official merch store, you know?
yeah, it's cool, and I'm excited for when the next Treyarch game comes out, right? Because
Yeah,
you
all
just
the
know,
material there.
yes, you just know there's gonna be a fun bunch of fun stuff to
Ooh,
collect,
yeah.
right? So I'm going to send you these photos. Put them up on the podcast if you'd like or not. I know
Okay.
obviously it takes a little bit, but I'm
Sure,
gonna
I'll put
send
them
you
up
these.
right now then.
There we are. So that's them there. So
Mhm.
I mean, don't get me wrong, they're a little bit different, but I mean, you got one for 16.99 and one for 30,
Yeah.
and they're almost identical, right? I guess it's because that I don't know about the actual quality of them. I'm assuming this one here might be a bit maybe it's like not cotton or something. Maybe it's a something cheaper. No, 100% cotton.
I mean, I don't
100%.
know. I mean,
100.
at the end of the day, too, they just want to obviously want to make a profit off of these shirts as
Yeah.
well, especially because they know so many people are going to buy them because it's the
Yeah.
official Call of Duty shop. So,
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing as well, I guess, is the fact that they know they can like put these out for the prices. People will buy them.
yeah, of
It's cause,
course.
obviously because it's the official shop, right? And I mean, fair enough, but I don't know as well because it's like everything on the shop is cool, but I don't know. Some of the prices are a bit like really, because
Yeah, it's definitely pricey.
there's so many cool shirts. Oh, like there's multiple ray gun t-shirts that are cool. The Caldera one, the colors on that look amazing. I really like the blue on that one. Let me go to like the. I mean, they have a zombies portion as well, don't they? That's
They
actually
do. They
dedicated.
got like obviously the ray gun shirt, the new Shinonuma shirt. You have one with the Juggernog logo on the goblet for Vanguard Zombies, which I think is really ironic because Juggernaut's not actually in the game for Vanguard Zombies. It's Fiendish
Which is
Fortitude
funny.
is the
Yes.
name of the rebranded Juggernog. So that's kind of funny. I think they have another one with Court Effects where it says "Yield or Die," which is like that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But
I
I just with the merch shop too. I know they want a lot of people to buy the merch, but I know with a lot of people being very upset at Vanguard that I don't know, are the Vanguard merch sales doing well?
maybe
I can honestly anticipate the Warzone merch sales doing better on the store, to be honest,
yeah,
because
absolutely.
why else would they have added this Shinonuma shirt if the zombie sales were doing good? That's what I think, because it seems like the majority of people actually like Shinonuma and Vanguard. So let's add a shirt to, celebrate that. And I don't know, to me that just makes sense where it's like, okay, maybe the zombie stuff isn't doing so hot. Let's add a new shirt. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
I mean
that could be the case, but that's my thought.
this is gonna be a throwback to a few episodes, right?
Hmm.
Probably like a good like 30 episodes actually. But you know what they need to add now?
What's
The
up?
Call of Duty card game. Call of Duty card game where you can open
Dude,
packs and get rare cards. You remember that episode?
I do
We're
remember
talking
that
about the
episode.
cards. Well, they need to add it now. Now's the time to do it. Sell packs so we can do Pokemon cards, but put Call of Duty characters on them.
Pokemon cards,
Do
but for
certain,
Call of Duty.
but do weapons as well, right? So do like the standard weapons and the ones with variants and that with them as well. I mean, honestly, the Call of Duty card game, that would be epic.
You know, it should be like Pokemon cards in two separate ways, you know? It should be like Pokemon cards in the way that you collect them and there's rarities to them and there's like the different versions of the cards and all those cards you can get PSA rated and whatever, right? But then the cards also serve as a literal card game too. So, you know, you collect the Captain Price card, and Captain Price has his particular ability that he has. And then, like, with the Pokemon trading card game, you have like the trainer cards and the energy cards, right? So your oop, hit the microphone. You have the trainer cards or the energy cards. They're like guns, right? So you have the Captain Price with the MP5, and that like does something in the card game. And then like your trainer card or whatever, where the energy card was the weapon, your trainer card could be like a location. So it's like Captain Price, MP5, and Nuketown. And this is like a special ability that Nuketown does, and this is a special ability that, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you could totally make this huge game out of it, that this is such a good opportunity for them to do something like that.
Yeah. And I think necessarily, right, the card game itself doesn't actually have to do that good, right? It can, because for Pokemon, I don't know how to play the Pokemon card game, right? I think more the
novelty of collecting something.
Yes, right. And making it so things are rare, you know?
Right.
Making it so, let's say in every 1,000 packs you get one Richtofen, like a certain version of Richtofen from like Blood of the Dead, right? Or something like that, a certain variant of Richtofen, or like a certain variant of Ghost, or, you know, a certain, you know, I mean, where it's like, you know, you only maybe get like one in every like 100 or like 200 packs. I think that would make it so Call of Duty streamers would just keep opening these things up, right?
For sure.
Because instantly there, when people start investing money into the market, maybe a bit slow to start, but instantly there, when they start investing money into this card sort of marketplace, right? That is where there is value. And then, you know, in like a month's time, stop producing that set of cards. Stop.
Right.
And then work on a new one. Because then them cards have so much more value, because obviously they're not being produced anymore. So I think that is like, if they wanted to make a lot more money on the side, right, in terms of like something that's like actual, like, you know, that is a way they could do it.
Right. If they want to have some sort of tangible collectible, because I know they already make a crap load of money off the Call of Duty store, and Activision already makes a lot of money off of Candy Crush as well. So, you know, they make so much money already that if they wanted to make even more, they can do this, right? Which, I mean, hey, it could be interesting. It could definitely be really interesting. I know that there is definitely a niche audience for like the Pokemon trading card game, like the game itself. So maybe there could be, I don't know, kind of that audience for this particular card game too, if that ever becomes a thing. I know another thing is that I think it Breakpoint GG on or like Breakpoint, something like that. They're on Twitter. I know they make player cards for the CDL players. So you have, let's say, Scump for Major 3, the last Major, or Major 4, or something like that, right? And these are all of his stats, and these are all the stats combined for this Major, and this was Scump from this Major, or this was Arcides, or this was Abizi, or something like that. And something like that could definitely be also implemented for Call of Duty, where maybe it's not just the you know, the characters and all the abilities the characters does. Like, Ghost has attack, and that's like that trading card game. Then on the other hand, you can have an offshoot card set where it's literal like player cards, like for baseball and things like that. But for Call of Duty, that is kind of what Breakpoint's already kind of doing. But at the same time, I don't know if those are like literally on sale or anything, or they just make them for fun. But I do see that they make those kind of styled cards where it's like, oh yeah, this is how Priesta did in this Major, and this is like all of his stats and whatever, right? So I feel like there's so much opportunity for this, and people would eat this up.
Honestly, they would. Again, I'm surprised they haven't done it already. But like, again, it wouldn't even have to be like the competitive scene that'd be good about it. It'd be the fact that you'd be collecting something.
Exactly.
And again, there's so much value in it. I mean, you look at Pokemon cards, right? And how much value is in that. I mean, I've bought a lot of Pokemon cards, right? And a lot of them I haven't opened because I want to open them in 10 years when there's a bit more value behind them. I mean, I wouldn't really see that as like, how to put it, like, because I'm going to open them regardless, right? So I'm just holding them until later to see what the value of potential packs go up to. And don't get me wrong, some packs, I bought some packs when they came out and the value went down with them, right? So it's kind of it's like anything, the value can go up or down, and I'm not keeping them for the sole purpose of reselling. I'm keeping them so in 10 years, in 10, 15 years, when I have a kid or something, I don't know, I can open up these rare Pokemon cards. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
I have that mindset. I mean,
hey, in 10, 15 years, you got a kid, and it's like, Dad, what do you do for a living? I sell Pokemon cards. I sold a Charizard for $15,000.
That's what I do for a living.
I mean, hey, if it works, it works, I guess.
I mean, imagine this, right? Imagine you're a kid, right? You back in the late 90s, you hear about this game called Pokemon cards, right? You go buy a pack, falls in the back of a couch, remains sealed and protected, no damage for the next 20 years. You for some reason you find the pack, you open it up, Charizard, right? Worth like worth $500,000 instantly, $500,000. That's you set up for life.
You want to know the funniest thing about that is too?
What's that?
A friend of mine from a long time ago gave me a bunch of Pokemon cards, and one of them was an old, like some of the first fucking cards ever made, Japanese Charizard. And
where is it now?
Is hiding somewhere. I don't know where, but it is hiding somewhere, stored away, tucked away, deep in some sort of storage area that I don't know even where to begin to look.
Man, honestly, go look for it. Go look for it. Go find it.
I don't know if I'll sell it because it's that valuable. It's kind of like a piece of history. But the fact of the matter is that it's a cool item to have, and I would like to find it again.
I think find it, see what you think, and then it's up to you really. If it's a really old one, it's like Japanese and all that, and it has like certain things, because obviously you have for the first set, there was an issue where some of the cards were shadowless, so the cards wouldn't have shadows on them, and those cards have more value. And there's a few little cool things like that as well. Like there's one of the first Pikachu cards, and I can't remember the exact thing. I think the cheeks were a different color. I think they were a different color, and that card has instantly more value as well because the set. Because the thing about the Pokemon card community, right?
And stuff.
Yeah, like misprints community is insane, right? Like if a card is a really weird misprint, that can instantly triple the value of it because it's such like a unique and different misprint.
That's so wild.
So there's I follow the Facebook page for a little bit, right? I know Facebook, right? But I follow the Facebook page for a little bit, and it had all the misprints, and there'd be people buying cards that were like the picture would be off to the side and be like, I'll give you $100 for that card. I want that card I'll give you 200. And people would be like, it's I don't know.
Yeah, just when you thought people didn't already spend thousands of dollars on Pokemon cards, this one is incorrect. I'm gonna pay more.
This one's font slightly faded. Buy this can go up to $50 to from $5.
Now you can see here Pikachu is 2 millimeters off from the center, so this means I have to pay $2,000 for this card.
You don't know something that's a I mean, centering is very important for the cards as well, which I find mental. It is, right? Because that can completely change.
I was like half making a joke, but at the same time, honestly, why am I not surprised that centering is also a thing?
They're getting graded and stuff. The centering of the card is very important because if you notice it being too far to one side compared to the other, that can take down the value of it a lot.
Wow.
So it does depend. Most of the cards are fine, but you will find that there's certain cards where the centering just isn't great.
That's really weird, especially since we were just talking about how there's a huge community for misprint cards out there. So that's what's interesting.
It's a whole thing. It's weird, man. Pokemon card community, they're crazy.
And now let's do it for Call of Duty.
Now let's do it for Call of Duty.
Now let's get a Call of Duty card game. Honestly, I'm down. I'm so down.
I'm down for that. I think
have the whole Pokemon craze or the Pokemon cards, but now have the Call of Duty card craze.
Yeah, I mean it's mental. I would love a Call of Duty card game. I would buy so many packs. I
sure.
would spend so much money on them. Um,
Be interesting.
but in other news, moving from the Call of Duty card game, um, what do you think of speedruns, Jason? What do you think of speedruns?
I like speedruns. Speedruns are cool. I think people are super talented, and
Yeah,
they spend a shitload of time on the game, and they know the entire thing in and out. And um, I definitely wouldn't be able
yeah,
to do it. To be honest, I would not
no,
be able to sit there for
absolutely,
hours every day doing the same speed run over and over and over again
no,
for the perfect RNG or the perfect run, because I would just lose my sanity in the first like
yeah,
half an hour.
yeah, right. Well, with that, okay? So we're not going to name names or anything, right? We're going to keep it completely just like you know nameless and just talk about like what's fair and what's not fair, okay?
Okay.
When using other people's videos, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously we know in the zombie community we like reacting to stuff. It's just a thing that the community does,
We
right?
do.
And it's been going on for ages, right? And I'll get my kind of viewpoint on this first. I think
Mm-hmm.
with reacting to stuff, you should always ask first, because I think sometimes in the community people will just find a video, react to it, put a little bit of credit in the description, and that's it, right? Which
Mm-hmm.
technically, if you're transforming the content, if you're doing something different with it, if you're adding stuff to it, then I'm pretty sure in YouTube's like terms and all that, it's fine, because
Right.
what's the word? It's your
Well, it's transformative, so
transformative,
it's
yes, right?
yeah, it falls under copyright law that you're protected from
You're
that,
protected, right? Absolutely. I think from a how do I put it, like a, because again, legally you're not doing anything wrong and you're absolutely fine, right? What you're doing isn't wrong, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I think there should be, in certain cases where maybe it's a bit repetitive, where there should be a cause to ask for permission, if you get what I mean.
I
Like
understand
for
what you
me
mean.
personally, if I was to react to something, I think, and let's say it was like you, right? Or like, if I was making a joke or something, I feel like if I was seriously reacting to something, I would want to ask first,
Mm-hmm.
sort of thing. I don't know. What are your like sort of thoughts and opinions on that? Because I know in the community right now, there's a little bit
Yeah.
of debate on what's like fair and what's not. And again, without naming
Right.
names, because we're not going to drag names into it or anything.
Right,
Um,
because we're literally I think the main important thing to talk about here is just the concept of reaction videos, because
yeah,
when you boil it down to it, like reaction videos, you can say are some of the easiest videos you can ever make for
yeah,
content. And of course, I'm guilty of making many reaction videos for trailers, for things like that, for Call of Duty Zombies,
mhm,
for Warzone, things like that, because I personally like doing it. I like
yeah,
making reaction videos, and I just like giving my thoughts on something. And I think there's a novelty in seeing people's genuine raw reactions
there's
to,
something.
oh, whoa, that's really cool, whoa, and
Yeah,
people
I mean,
people
we
want to
got that all the
experience
time. Yeah,
that thing with you. And I think reaction videos are a fun way to do something like that if it's genuine.
yeah,
And I think the distinction here that needs to be made as well when it comes to reacting to other content creators' content and reacting to like a Call
like
of Duty
companies
video or something,
trailer. Yes, exactly.
because those trailers are specifically designed to be criticized, if that makes sense. Those trailers are specifically designed to showcase something that's coming out soon and to showcase a product. And as product reviewers, like we are, we're content creators, but we're also product reviewers. We play the game, we give our opinions, we say things are good and bad. So we review the product, and it's almost a way out there to showcase the product. So we're going to give our reviews and we're going to give our opinions about that because it's set out in a corporate context.
And my camera's died. I don't know why. It's just died. I think it's overheated. So the rest of this episode, we're going to go with Cosmic.
Cosmic is in the dark either for the rest of the episode, I guess.
I guess so. Well,
So
we'll just continue.
we'll just continue. Well, when it comes to content creators, I think content creators is a different animal in a way,
Yeah.
where now you have it to where you have one creator going to another creator, basically taking another creator's work and reacting to it for their own work, which in practice wouldn't seem like that bad of an idea. But I understand where the concerns are, where people saying, oh yeah, this is just repetitive. This is, over and over again. My same videos are being reacted to constantly over and over again. And a lot of the times what
Yeah.
you find out is you have a lot of the bigger YouTubers who have the millions of subscribers or the hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and these other guys that have the hundreds, and sometimes they have 1,000 subscribers or whatever, that in the short term it will bring it'll bring traction to their channel in the short term, because people are going to look at the channel and people are going to look at it and go, oh yeah, this is the video that so and so reacted to, this is the video that I saw my favorite YouTuber react to. And then in the short term it'll help you out a little bit. But then when it comes to the long term, you know, people might only go to your content because they just previously watched another person's content, which I understand. That's a huge problem. I absolutely think that is definitely something that is unfortunate. But I think on the flip side of the coin too, with some of the people who do have larger audiences giving more attention to some of the smaller guys in the community, I think that's awesome. I think having the bigger guys acknowledge the smaller guys and having them showcase their gameplay and, hey, look how good this guy is at zombies, you should check it out. And I feel as if there's almost a disconnect in a way when it comes to audiences, because now you have it to where even if the creator, the bigger creator, is making a reaction not out of malice and not out of, you know, well, I'm going to just react to people's content because I want to make money off of them, right? If they're not doing that, which I highly doubt that they are, right? I highly doubt that they're making these videos to be like, I want easy money, right? Contrary to what some people might be saying out there. I think when it comes down to it too, this is also a way to be like, hey, look, I want to showcase this. I want to showcase how cool these people are. I want to showcase how skilled these people are. Go check them out, while at the same time I'm making money off of it. You know?
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
it's kind of a tricky thing to think about, because you're also you're giving people exposure, and you're giving people the opportunity to showcase their skills on a larger platform and showcase who they are on a larger platform. However, because it can be so short term, it might hurt you in the long run. If people are just there for, you know, again, I'm here because my favorite YouTuber reacted to you, and I don't really care about your content. I just care about what my favorite YouTuber has to say, which goes into what I was talking about, the disconnect. There's kind of a disconnect in audiences, I think, mainly. That's the main thing, because with a lot of bigger guys are just subscribed to because they're big and they're popular. Right.
Yeah, naturally, right? And they follow that channel for so ever long.
So I think they don't know about the smaller guys. They don't know about some of the smaller creators out there, because those smaller creators don't have the momentum of, oh, I'm getting 1,000 subscribers a day and I'm going to be famous in a year, right? Because they're, I don't want to say they're just starting out, but they're in the stages of, you know, they have the early numbers. They have the early numbers before they blow up. They're figuring
themselves out.
They're figuring it out. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, with YouTube early on as well, right? It's one of them things where I think someone has to like feel out their content first, and then eventually, once they nail it, once they have a style that works and get views, because again, for some people it takes years. You know, I mean, Mr. Beast's channel, before he started actually doing well, his channel was completely dying, and he could have just stopped there, and then he wouldn't have what he has today, sort of thing. But with that's what the thing with like sort of content creation and like how it can take time to actually gain them subscribers. I think with the reaction content for myself, like you say, right, it's good enough trying to, you know, show the zombie community and like communities in general, these players that are amazing, right? But like you say, and since they have large numbers anyway, they're generating a lot of money from these videos as well.
Of course.
And you know, so they're doing it for one reason. Again, it gives it a bit of exposure, but then also so they can do it as their own work, right? Which in terms of like actual law and stuff, you know, fair enough. I mean, I'm technically they're not doing anything wrong, right? Right.
The only thing that I would personally have a problem with, I don't watch the reaction videos.
No, I don't either.
I don't watch it because I know that it's going to be the same thing. That's the other thing, that I think that kind of content might seem repetitive, and to some people it might seem very lazy. You know, I'm not going to say if it is lazy or not. I want to give an objective view on this. I want to play both sides of this, because I think there's definitely an argument to be made, and I want everybody to come to their own conclusions about this. But I think when you talk about the amount of, you know, Origins World Record, Origins World Record, Origins World Record, how many Origins World Records can you see until it just starts to get boring? right? There's that one side of the argument where it's like, okay, oh, another Origins world record, yay. And then you watch the same thing and they're doing the ice staff and the wind staff and you're watching the same thing. And, you know, it's the same speed run. It's the same things. Sure, there could be maybe some new strategy in the video that makes it maybe it separates it from the last one. But at the bottom line is like, are people really going to just want to continually watch the same thing over and over and over again in that regard? However, on the flip side of the coin too, I definitely understand where people might want to watch the same things over and over again if they're hardcore, right? Because if you have super hardcore people out there who will literally watch frame by frame to say, oh my God, look at this tiny little thing that this guy did right here that saved him 2 seconds off of this run. And look at this little adjustment here. And maybe there's that fun, like, technical aspect of it to people out there who are like super hardcore about speedruns and really go off. So I think, you know, the content is boring or the content is lazy or the content's exciting or you like to watch speedruns or whatever. That's all up to you, whatever. I'm just highlighting what, you know, some of the things that are circulating around the community are when it comes to this, because it is an important topic to talk about. And when it comes to just Call of Duty in general too, where it's like, oh, well, how is that any different from maybe a video you would make, Jason, where it's the same reaction and you're like, whoa, that's cool. And wow, look at this thing. Well, the difference is in what you're actually reacting to and what you're actually giving your opinion on. Because again, how many times can you watch Origins and not be like, oh yeah, I've seen that already? Whereas if there's a new Call of Duty trailer for, let's say, Shinonuma Reborn came out, right? And we have, a trailer for that, which I know we didn't have a trailer for Shinonuma Reborn. Technically, we had that little snippet in the other trailer. So okay, we'll take the gameplay trailers, we'll take the story trailers, we'll take the, you know, developer meetings or whatever, the developer calls, the developer videos that they do sometimes.
You
know, those are all different kinds of forms of content to react to, which is great. I think that's cool. And you know, of course, there's different maps to react to, of course. You can react to Origin, Shadows of Evil, Horizon Track, you can react to all those maps. Yeah, I get it. I definitely get it. But I'm just talking about where
I think
literally it's the same map. People are making just the same map over and over again.
I think Shadows of Evil is quite popular for this. And my views on it are, before we kind of finish things up here, my views are, again, at the time for when, you know, it can bring traction to a certain channel, right? And they can do speed runs and all that, and you know, they'll go subscribe, watch the video, leave a like, whatever, get a bit of watch time. You know, sometimes it can help a channel get monetized. Sometimes it can give them that final push. Really good. It makes you feel good as well as a smaller channel being reacted to, because you get all these people coming in to see you, you know, look at your content, all that good stuff, right?
Right.
But then we look, you know, month down the line, well, not a year, like a month, 2 months down the line, right? And what you'll find is that your channel will start a lot of the times doing a little bit more poor. Right. And this is natural, because you've had a spike. You've had a spike from, you know, this bigger content creators that's reacting to your content. Right. But what happens is eventually what you'll find is that all the people that subscribe for that one reason, you know, because they came from that video, won't start watching some of your stuff. Right.
Yeah. There's a good chance of that.
And what this does is it lowers your click-through rate. And what that can essentially do is lower your other stats like impressions and things like that as well, because YouTube is seeing that the content that you're providing for the subscribers you have, they're seeing that your subscribers aren't watching it, right? So in their mind, it's like they're not clicking, they don't like it, right? When in fact, you know, they have no opinion on it, because they're only there from the bigger content creators, because you know they liked watching that one speed run, but now we're down the line, they don't feel the need to click on it, because they came from them, and chances are they've reacted to that speed run already from the bigger content creator, which I think is like the issue. I think that's the main issue here, because it can harm channels in the long run. And I think that the other issue is as well is, again, someone could spend so long working, practicing, getting the proper skills down, spending hours upon hours to work on the speed run to get it down perfectly, nail it. They upload it. Let's say it gets 1,000 views, right? Then if someone else reacts to it, and for example, they get 200,000 views, right? When you're looking at like a monetary money standpoint, and I think with YouTube, I think it's, you know, it's an awkward area, right? When you look at terms of money and then creative output and things like that. But
of course,
this guy, 1,000 views, probably about, like, if you're lucky, $5, right? Like that's probably how much, depending on how long someone's watched through in that.
It depends on your
like your
What's
your
that?
CP
CPM.
CPM, right?
Is, right?
So obviously it averages, right? So we'll just say on a good day, $5, right? For that, right? We'll say you've made $5 from that video technically. I've had stuff, quickly spiraling off. I have some weird videos make a decent amount of money, which I wouldn't think they would, because the views are so low.
Same.
But I mean, just because a video doesn't do particularly well and you're monetized, it can still do well, like, financially. But then we go to this bigger content creator, right? So let's say we're using the math where it's what's it? We have $5 per 1,000 views, right? So times 5 by 100, you get 500. Do it again. No, that's right. Yeah. No, 500. No, 50. Math. I've deleted my calculator. I haven't reinstalled it.
Hey,
don't hate me. Right?
You deleted the calculator
by accident, right? So
how do you do
that's 50?
Okay.
So that's $50, right? That's $50. I think, right? Yeah. We'll say $50. Then $100, right? So because of 200,000 views, right? So we're just saying that. We're just saying it's $100. Okay. So this person's made $100 out of the content that you made, which was, you made $5, right? So you did all the work, you did the effort. This person reacts to it. They make significantly more money than you. I don't know if I messed up the calculation there. We're just going to say 100.
Even if you messed it up or not, it's still more money. And I definitely understand that argument for sure. And I think that's definitely a huge detriment to a lot of just community integrity, I think, too, where I think a lot of people from the outside looking in will look at the zombies community and maybe go, ooh, people are just stealing each other's content all the time. And I'm not talking about that's what I think. I want to be as objective as possible. I want to be I want to play both sides, and I want you guys to draw your own opinions on this, because this is such a very interesting topic, and it does boil down to, the kind of content you watch and the kind of content you make as well for the watcher and the maker. It really makes you think about why we're here in the first place to make content, and what's what audiences genuinely like to watch, and what kind of audiences are influenced by what kind of content, and what kind of ramifications that has. Because with a lot of bigger YouTubers too, they have these followers that are zealously watching every video, and they're constantly going and watching all these bigger people that they don't know, the smaller guys. And that's the whole thing, like you were talking about, with they go to a channel that they subscribe it because of their favorite YouTuber, and then it hurts their channel analytics. So there's I think, to wrap it all up, to make it like a sentence or two to wrap up my thoughts on this, now getting into my thoughts. Yes, it can be a good thing. It can be a good thing for channels to get exposure, and it's cool to see the bigger YouTubers shout out the little guys and to try to give the little guys more exposure. However, I also have to play devil's advocate, and I have to say that it's also detrimental to YouTubers, little YouTubers, who are trying to get something going, and if all their analytics are being screwed up, that sucks. That genuinely really sucks. And it's one of those things where you never know what's going to happen. Will all the people from the bigger YouTubers stick around, or will they not? And it's a gamble. It's almost like a gamble that's being put on your channel without you even without even yourself taking that gamble, which can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing. It all depends on what happens and what the audience does and how the audience reacts to it. And, quite frankly, with what's happening with the zombies community and things like that, it's very unpredictable. So I think that's where I have to sum it up.
Yeah. I think what would be very good to kind of end things off here is just to ask you guys in the comments to leave your opinions about this. Because again, it's something that is worth talking about, because it does affect people, good or bad. It's definitely one of the situations. What kind of like solutions do you guys in the comments perhaps have? Is it asking for permission beforehand, just as a courtesy type of thing? Is it that sort of solution, or is there any other ideas you guys have? Because again, it's one of them things where it can benefit a channel for the first, that it can benefit that channel for, getting your monetization, finishing off stuff. But in the long run, it'll absolutely destroy your analytics.
let's say you get 1,000 subscribers from someone, and then down the line, them 1,000 subscribers don't click on a video that you post, then that will very, very much, hurt your channel. But I think that's a pretty good note to end things off, just to get them opinions and see what other people think and what your opinions are.
Absolutely. So, yeah, good episode of the podcast today. We talked about a lot of interesting stuff today. We talked about, obviously, the reaction videos, and we talked about the shirt. We talked about fish in the ocean.
Talk about fish? Hell yeah.
The Loch Ness Monster. And then, of course, we touched back on Fortune's Keep a little bit. I think there's still more to talk about when it comes to Warzone, especially since there's going to be some new updates coming within the next few weeks, I think, with Rebirth and all that. So that'll be some more topics to talk about then. But any other closing thoughts before we wrap it up?
Just if you guys want to buy a Shinonoma t-shirt, hit me up. I'll sell them to you for half the price.
Oh no!
I'll sell them to you for half the price.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for watching this episode of the Division Z podcast. What was your favorite part? And feel free to share your thoughts in the comments about the whole reaction video thing happening in the community right now, because there's definitely a big conversation to have about it. And yeah, leave a like and subscribe to the Division Z channel if you're new here, and check out all the links down below in the description so you stay up to date with everything that we do. And have a fantastic rest of your day or night, depending on where you are in this crazy world. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Bye, everyone.